There are moments, Gemini, when the universe suddenly grows strangely silent. No more clear signs, no affirmations, just stillness, as if everything has come to a pause. And if you're feeling that right now, know that it's not a coincidence. You didn't stumble upon this video by accident. You were led here by your own energy, the energy of a soul that has been running for too long, trying too hard, and is now being invited to stop just to receive. Have you noticed how lately everything seems to be slowing down? Unfinished plans, conversations that fade halfway through, or projects that seemed so close to success suddenly turning quiet? Many Geminis will recognize this feeling, as if the universe has withdrawn all sound so you can finally hear the voice within. But in that silence, something grand is being woven, and it carries the form of a financial blessing you never expected. The strange thing is, sometimes destiny's gifts don't come through loud action but through the quietest pauses. When you stop trying to control the flow, you begin to see how water finds its own path. And if lately you've felt like the universe is hiding, trust this. Everything is moving behind the scenes, preparing to return to you what you truly deserve, not with thunder, but with a gentle breeze carrying abundance. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to push anymore. Just breathe. Because when you stop, new energy can finally find you. You may not see it right away, but trust me, luck, money, and opportunity are quietly making their way toward you, little by little, through doors you haven't yet noticed. So now, take a deep breath, pour yourself a warm cup of tea or your favorite coffee, and sit here with me. We'll begin this journey slowly, quietly, and filled with miracles. Part 1. The silence before the wind. The universe is aligning for you. Have you ever felt like everything suddenly slows down in a strange way, Gemini? Conversations that stop halfway, plans that once seemed ready now fade into silence, people who used to text every day leaving only empty space behind. You might be wondering, why is everything so quiet now? But pause for a moment, because sometimes silence isn't a sign of ending. It's the beginning of something far greater, a divine reordering that the universe is preparing, especially for you. Gemini has always been the curious soul of the Zodiac you live through motion, through information, through words. When the energy around you suddenly slows, you easily feel uneasy. But this time, it's different. This isn't delay. It's a moment of energetic refinement. The universe is asking you to stop, not to restrain you, but to synchronize you with the rhythm of miracles. There's a financial energy, a chance, a reward, even a flow of abundance you didn't expect making its way toward you. But for that frequency to connect, you must be still. Not silence of the lips, but silence of the mind. You know, Gemini, in this month's energy, Mercury, your ruling planet, is adjusting its angle with Jupiter. This causes everything you've been pursuing to appear stagnant, but in truth, the universe is rerouting everything. Projects that once felt stuck are being cleared to make room for new, prosperous paths. People who once left are being replaced by authentic connections, capable of bringing long-lasting value into your life. This slowing down is a protection, not a punishment. I know the hardest thing for a Gemini isn't doing. It's stopping. But it's only in stillness that you can truly hear your own voice. When you stop, you start realizing what you've been running for all this time, what you've been clinging to, and what's truly worth keeping. Sometimes, what you think is being left behind is actually being held back, so that the blessing can arrive at the perfect time. The universe operates in ways subtler than you can imagine. It doesn't send notifications through noise, but through the smallest of signs, a recurring dream, a repeating number, a sudden feeling you can't explain. Pay attention to those things that seem meaningless, because that's how the universe whispers to you. I'm still here, and everything is being prepared for you. By Sade. I've that. End of os. Calm. I've end of. I end. End. I end. End. You don't need to chase anymore, Gemini. You just need to trust and pause at the right moment. Because if you run too fast, you'll outrun the frequency of miracles. But if you know how to stand still, you'll hear the wind shift, and it's blowing your way. This silence, in truth, is a blessing. It's the space between two chapters of a story you haven't finished reading. It's the inhale of the universe before it exhales and gives you everything you once prayed for. Let your heart become a peaceful ground where good things can land. Because you can't hear the waves if you're still shouting in the storm. Gemini, try one simple thing tonight. When everything is quiet, place your hand over your heart and whisper, I don't need to control everything. I trust that everything is aligning for me. Just that. And you've already begun unlocking the energetic door to miracles. And if you're deeply resonating with this energy, if you're in a phase where the universe is teaching you patience, trust, and the art of standing still to receive, leave a comment below. I trust the silence. That's the signal you send to the heavens, letting the universe know you're ready. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, so that whenever a new message arrives, you'll be the first to receive it. Now, sit still for a little while longer. Everything is coming. And when the wind gently shifts, you'll understand why silence was the most precious gift the universe ever gave you. Part 2. When your mind stops, everything starts to move. Gemini, have you noticed that most of the time, your mind is never truly still? It's always moving like a wind that never finds its rest. Always searching for something new, always analyzing, always worrying, always trying to understand everything at once. You think you're living, but sometimes you're only reacting. And that very state is why your financial energy, opportunities, and the blessings you've been praying for can't seem to land. Because the universe can't deliver its gifts into a mind that hasn't yet paused to receive. You are a child of Mercury, the planet of intellect, words, and communication. You came into this world to learn how to connect, to share ideas, to bring light through understanding. But for that same reason, you're easily swept up in the motion of thoughts. You speak to fill silence, act to avoid emptiness, laugh to hide your exhaustion. You believe that the more you do, say, and analyze, the sooner you'll find the answer. But perhaps the answer was never in the noise. Right now, Mercury, your ruling planet, is pausing in a trine with Jupiter. It's a beautiful alignment, opening the gates for great opportunities in money, ideas, and expression. But to receive this energy, you must stop running. Imagine this. Mercury is the wave of information, and Jupiter is the door of abundance. If the wave keeps trembling, the signal can never transmit clearly. Only when you become still does the wave stabilize, and that's when the blessing can lock in, aligning perfectly with your energetic coordinates. You've probably heard the saying, the universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to vibration. When your mind is quiet, every frequency in your body shifts. You step out of fear and into trust. And at that vibration, everything you've been chasing begins to come toward you, without knocking, without effort. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. The right person messages you at the right time. Forgotten money returns to you simply because you've shifted from seeking to being ready. Think of it this way, Gemini. Stillness isn't powerlessness. It's power in its purest form. It's when you know that even in silence, even when you do nothing, your energy is still sending ripples across the universe. The stillness of someone who understands themselves is stronger than 1,000 affirmations. And when you reach that state, you no longer need to convince anyone to believe in you, because the universe already does. I know it's not easy for a Gemini. Silence makes you feel invisible. You fear that if you don't speak or act, people will forget you. But Gemini, you don't need to prove your worth through sound. Light doesn't need noise to be seen. And neither do you need to try so hard to be loved or recognized. You only need to be yourself and stand firm in the knowing that what's meant for you will always find you. Observe one breath, one morning, one single moment when you don't have to do anything, just simply be. In that space, you'll realize that when your mind stops, everything begins to move. People who drifted away may reach out again. An unexpected opportunity might appear. Or you could receive a message that opens a new path. None of it is coincidence. It's the result of you mastering the hardest lesson, the lesson of stillness. Gemini see this phase as a spiritual practice. Every day, take just 5 minutes. Sit quietly. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. And remind yourself, I don't need to chase miracles, because I am the miracle. You'll feel the shift, not outside, but within. And once the inside changes, the outside begins to reflect it. If you're learning to stay centered, leave an affirmation for yourself below. Stillness is my strength. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, so that you and I can continue this journey where every message from the universe finds the right soul at the right time. Now, let everything grow quiet for a moment, because it's in that silence that you'll hear the footsteps of what's coming, and this time, they're walking toward you. Part 3. The flow of money is finding you, not because you chase it, but because you're ready. Gemini, here's something few people ever tell you. Money doesn't flow to the most talented person, nor to the hardest worker. It flows to the one who is aligned. And you, the one who once felt tangled in your thoughts, who tried to prove your worth by doing just a little more, you're now entering a completely different phase, the phase of readiness. Not readiness to run, but readiness to receive. There were times you believed that if you worked harder, spoke smarter, or performed better, money would come. But prosperity energy doesn't respond to tension. It responds to stability. When you're scattered, doubtful, or comparing yourself to others, you're sending out the frequency of lack. But when you take a deep breath, smile, and know that I am enough, the universe hears it and begins to move in your direction. Remember this: the energy of money doesn't like noise. It's like a rare bird. It only lands where there's peace. And you, Gemini, are learning to create that peaceful space within your own mind. When you stop criticizing yourself, stop rushing to prove something, you're clearing an energetic runway for abundance to land. In astrology, the second house, the house of value and material possessions, is being illuminated for you now. Venus and Jupiter are activating this zone, signaling a divine repayment for all the quiet efforts you've made before. You've planted so many seeds, you just haven't seen them bloom yet. And now, because you've learned to trust the process and stop interfering with the growth, The flowers are finally beginning to open. The fascinating thing is that when your internal frequency shifts, your external reality follows. People who once ignored you begin to reach out. Opportunities you once lost return this time with better terms. Money that once felt blocked starts to flow effortlessly, as if it was never stuck at all. You don't have to force it, because true abundance never needs to be chased. It only needs to be recognized. Think back to the times you exhausted yourself chasing someone or holding on to something that no longer fit your path. The moment you let go, what was right for you found its way back. Money works the same way. It's not a reward for extreme effort, it's a natural response to balanced energy. If you still feel lack, ask yourself, am I running because I fear losing? Or am I standing still because I trust what's mine will never miss me? The universe is testing exactly that. And the truth is you're passing. Gemini's energy now is no longer scattered wind, but a focused, gentle, intelligent breeze. That calmness makes you magnetic, attracting without trying. In this vibration, you're no longer seeking opportunity. You become the place opportunity seeks. I want you to remember this, Gemini. Wealth isn't just money. It's freedom in your soul. When you no longer fear loss, you've already begun to own. When you stop needing to prove yourself, you've already begun to shine. And when fear dissolves, you allow all that's good to return to you, multiplied beyond what you could imagine. Tonight, as you sit quietly, perhaps with a cup of tea or the scent of incense, close your eyes and say, I don't chase, I attract. Feel that energy radiate through you from your heart, down to your core, spreading through every cell. That's the frequency of prosperity. That's how you become the destination for blessings. And one morning, you'll notice everything starting to shift. An unexpected payment, a past favor returned, an opportunity appearing just when you stopped searching. You'll smile, not in surprise, but with calm recognition, and whisper, I was ready. Because deep down, you'll know the flow of money had been right behind you all along, just waiting for you to stop running so it could finally catch up. If you feel this truth, if your heart resonates with the energy of receiving, leave a comment below. I am ready to receive. That's how you signal to the universe. The door is open. I am ready. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe so your energy can continue to grow and expand alongside thousands of other Gemini souls entering this new era of abundance. Because sometimes, miracles don't happen when you do more, but when you pause just long enough to realize that everything you've ever wished for has already been quietly making its way toward you. Part 4. The signs and tests before the reward arrives. Gemini, have you noticed lately how random things keep repeating? A message from someone you'd forgotten, a small amount of unexpected money, a strange number like 555 or 888 showing up on a receipt, or maybe a recurring dream that keeps returning. Don't dismiss these things. The universe rarely speaks in words, it speaks in signs. And if you're seeing them now, know this. A great blessing is on its way. But first, you must pass the final test, the test of faith. Before everything shifts, the universe always creates small situations to mirror you back to yourself. An old opportunity returns. Someone who once hurt you reappears. Or a tempting offer comes that excites yet unsettles your heart. Not to tease you, Gemini, but to ask one question. Have you truly learned the lesson? If you react as before, rushing, panicking, or trying to please, then the new energy can't yet enter. But if you stay calm, smile, and trust that everything is unfolding according to a higher plan, You've just walked through the doorway of your test. Each time this happens, remember, a test is never a punishment. It's confirmation that you're close to your reward. Just like when you're about to graduate, the universe gives you a final exam only to see if you're truly ready. And here's something fascinating, Gemini. Most souls don't fail because they're not good enough. They fail because they panic right before the miracle arrives. The universe wants to see you breathing steadily, eyes bright, heart open, even when nothing is yet clear ahead. Astrologically, the wheel of fortune is turning in your favor. Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, is preparing to interact with Mercury, forming a rare alignment that sets everything you've been waiting for in motion. But before that wheel spins fully, it may pause for a brief moment, like a quiet stillness before the heavens open. That pause is where you must hold your energy steady. Don't let your mind spiral into fear or doubt. Don't let the past pull you backward. Stand still, breathe deeply, and remember, you are in the right place at the right time. Many Geminis during this phase will experience test signals clearly. An old opportunity dressed in charm but lacking peace. Someone from the past returning with words you once longed to hear, or an inexplicable wave of anxiety that resurfaces without reason. All of these are to ask, do you still trust yourself, or do you trust your fear? Do you still need proof, or are you calm enough to know that what's meant for you will never be rushed? When you learn not to react to what's old, the universe knows you're ready for what's new. Because financial blessings, prosperity, and major opportunities only lock in to those stable enough to hold them. If you're still wavering, the gift won't disappear, it'll simply wait until you're truly ready. And Gemini, you're standing right at that threshold now. Watch the signs around you. 770, 7 the signal that you're being protected. 880, 8 the code of abundance. 555, the whisper that change has begun. If you see these numbers, don't panic or overanalyze their meanings. Just smile and quietly say, I know, I hear you, I trust. That alone is enough for the universe to know you've received the message. And when the final test passes, the reward will come softly, not loud, not dramatic. A payment notification, a signed contract, an invitation from somewhere unexpected. It won't appear as magic, but as a natural consequence. Because you've changed. And when you change, the frequency of your reality changes with you. So Gemini, don't fear when life tests you even as things begin to improve. That's the clearest sign you're on the right path. Just as the sky is darkest before dawn, your mind is being rebalanced before new light arrives. Keep trusting. Keep standing tall. Everything you've prayed for is about to be delivered. If you've been noticing these signs lately, if you're going through a quiet test, yet feel more peaceful than ever, leave a comment. 888, I am aligned. That's your declaration to the universe that you've matched its frequency. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep your energy vibrating at its highest, where miracles don't just visit once, but become your way of life. Because, Gemini, sometimes the true reward isn't the gift you receive, but the person you've become while waiting for it. Part 5. The crowning moment. You don't need to chase miracles, because you are the miracle. Gemini, now that you've come this far, can you feel it? The energy around you has changed. Everything feels calmer, but not the calm of emptiness, rather the calm of someone who finally knows who they are. You no longer seek validation. You no longer wait for someone to tell you that you're worthy. Because in your silence, You've already heard the voice of your soul whisper, "I have always been enough." You've walked through the phases of doubt, of waiting, of endless tests. And now, you're stepping into a new chapter, the chapter of receiving. But unlike before, this reward doesn't come with applause or bright lights. It arrives with a deep exhale of relief, an opportunity appearing at the perfect time, an invitation you didn't have to search for, a new stream of income born from something you love. The universe is returning what's yours, not just in material form, but as recognition that you have evolved in your energy. Astrologically, Mercury and Venus are now illuminating your 10th house, the house of career, status, and personal legacy. This means that everything you've invested your energy in will begin to be seen, acknowledged, and rewarded. If you were once misunderstood, underestimated, or placed behind the scenes, this is the moment when the light shines exactly where it belongs on you. But the beautiful part is you don't have to fight for it. The light finds you because you've become the light. The universe doesn't send rewards to those who shout, but to those who quietly maintain the frequency of faith. And you've done that, Gemini. When everyone else rushed ahead, you paused. When the world demanded noise, you chose silence. When doors slammed shut, you didn't pound or cry. You waited and trusted the wind to change. That calmness has made you a wave bearer, someone who no longer needs to prove their strength, but becomes a sanctuary for others, learning peace. This is your true coronation, not when you have more than others, but when you know who you are and no longer need anyone to confirm it. From this moment forward, you don't chase miracles, because you've realized you are the miracle. You are the energy of wisdom, transformation, and flexible light that touches others simply through a word, a smile, or your presence. Take a moment to look back at your journey. From confusion in silence, you learned to trust. From fear of stillness, you learned to surrender. From doubting your worth, you learned to stand still in confidence. And now, you stand at the point where every stream of prosperity begins to flow toward you. The universe isn't testing you anymore, it's celebrating you. Imagine this: the universe as a river, and you've stopped struggling. Now, the current itself carries you where you're meant to go. No rushing, no fear. You're simply flowing in faith. And there, everything happens naturally. Money comes, opportunities come. Love comes not because you begged for them, but because you've become the magnetic center of wholeness. Some may still not understand you. Some old doors may close. But within those closures lies a new space where you can finally be yourself, without masks, without proving anything. That is true freedom. And freedom is the highest form of wealth. So, give yourself permission to wear the crown today. Not because you're above anyone, but because you've transcended the old version of yourself. You've walked through fear, through doubt, and yet kept your heart intact. That's a victory that needs no audience but one the universe fully witnesses. Gemini, you don't need to chase the light anymore, because you are the light. Everything you've prayed for is orbiting around you, aligning perfectly into place. Continue to live as proof of faith gently, peacefully, and powerfully. If you feel ready to become the miracle itself, write in the comments below, "I am the light. I am." That's your soul's declaration that you no longer live in waiting, but in the reality of your own magic. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, so together we can spread this light to other souls who need faith just as you once did. Because Gemini, you're not just the one searching for the light. You are the light. And that light, your light, never fades. Gemini, If you've made it this far, it means your soul has heard its own calling. The universe didn't send this message to you by chance. It chose the right moment, the right frequency, and the right person. Because it's time for you to understand. Stillness is not emptiness. It's power. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You just need to trust the rhythm of your own life. The greatest lesson this video carries is this. Every beautiful thing needs space to bloom. When your mind stops, the flow of life begins to move. When you stop being afraid, what you desire starts to find you. And when you stop chasing miracles, you become the miracle itself. If there's one practice you can start today, let it be this. Every morning, take a few moments to breathe deeply. Place your hand over your heart and say, I don't need to control. I trust that the universe is aligning for me. That small affirmation will slowly become your reality because the universe always responds to a trusting heart. If this video has touched you, if you can feel the energy of transformation drawing near, leave a comment below. I am ready to receive. That's how you activate your frequency and help this message reach other souls who need to hear it too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because each week the universe sends new messages to help you heal, awaken, and expand into your path of abundance. And remember, Gemini, you're not late. You're being aligned. Everything good you're searching for is also searching for you, so long as you stay peaceful enough to receive it. See you in the next video, where we'll continue decoding the universe's signs and walking together on this journey back to your own light.